Hi, welcome to this live reading from Touched, Elemental Passions, Book 1 by Sky Turner, Sloan Nicole, April D. Berry, C.J. Pinard, Danielle Jamie, Darlene Tallman, Julie Morgan, Lavelle James, Michelle Hanley, and Melissa McKinnon. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Aeris. Hidden from view at the far edge of our colony, beneath the cover of the low-hanging oak trees that hung the ground like massive arms and create a wonderfully private nook, I devour yet another of the human romance novels I find myself obsessed with lately. If I'm caught, I'll be in trouble, though that's nothing new for me. Aeris the adventurous, Aeris the rule breaker, Aeris the rebel. That's me. Though I don't ever actually intend to break the rules, it just sort of happens. What can I say? I'm curious. There's a great big world outside of our own, and I want to explore it all. Is that really so bad? I don't think it is. The leaves on the branches above me whip wildly as I continue to read and get to a particularly erotic scene of the book. Glancing up from the page, I realize the fingers of my left hand are waving back and forth through the tendrils of my long dark hair. Chuckling to myself, I mutter aloud, "Careful, Aeris, you'll give yourself away. No need to invite another lecture." The husky laugh behind me has me whirling around so quickly my breath catches within my throat. The wind above me instantly stills as my book falls from my hand, landing atop the lush green grass beside me. Why not? Being lectured does seem to be one of your favorite pastimes. My shoulders relax as my brother's dark head appears from the other side of the tree. Smirking, he drops down alongside me and nods toward my book. His nose wrinkles at the shirtless chest covered with perfectly defined muscles on the cover. What's this one about? Did he get into a battle with a peg-legged pirate and lose his shirt? Why are humans so obsessed with physique? The look on his face as he sarcastically asks has me laughing aloud. Glancing at his bare chest, my brow arches. You never clothe your chest? His eyes narrow at my quip, causing me to chuckle again before answering his question. No, not this one side. He's a rancher who falls in love with his foreman's daughter when she comes back from college. And I, too, like a trim man. I tap the prominently defined abdominal muscles of the man on the cover with my fingertips. Cyrus's lips twist before he catches himself. He grimaces. I am Fae, he gestures around at our colony. We are vastly different from humans. We are in tune with the elements. Our connection is heightened by not having the hindrance of heavy clothing. Humans are not like us. His voice hardens. They are selfish and opportunistic. They will take and take with no regard for the harm they cause. Clothing is necessary for them. It is not for us. So, ranchers should own shirts. Angling my head, I regard him closely, noticing the tightness of his jaw. My eyes lower, seeing the clenching of his fists. He's right. Humans are not like us, but that is why they are so fascinating. They have no connection with the elements. They are simply human. Yet something deep within me wants to know all I can about them. Slapping his shoulder in hopes of lightening his suddenly tense demeanor, I chuckle and reach for my fallen book. Holding it up as my eyes once again travel over the attractive human with rippling muscles on the cover, I trace his image. This rancher is imaginary, much like we are as far as humans are aware. Leaning over, I bump his shoulder with mine and grin. And I quite like him without a shirt. Some humans should always wear clothing. Not this one, though, I wink. Shaking his head, he rolls his bright green eyes at me, causing me to grin. He leans back against the trunk of the tree, his shoulder and hip touching mine, and looks off into the distance. I do the same and sigh as I take in the abundant beauty of the lushness of our home. The oak, river birch, and cypress trees are stately and full of thick branches, covered with varying shades of green leaves. The crepe myrtles are nearly bursting with delicate blooms of pink, fuchsia, lilac, white, and vibrant red. The ground is covered with every wildflower one could possibly imagine. A bayou of crystal clear water runs directly through the center of the colony, the sound babbling and filling the air as it flows over the smooth rocks beneath it. Wildlife frolic about with the knowledge they are welcome and safe. Homes and various structures are spread throughout the land, though they seamlessly blend with nature. The stately castle in the very center is so beautiful and majestic, it still catches my breath every single day. Our colony is lovely, and though I've gazed upon it daily since birth, I never tire of it. It's home. It is home. And I know the importance of staying within the wards, of keeping our existence safe from the humans and their world. But I want to see everything. I want to experiencing it. The yearning never ceases. Which is why I sneak out so often to observe the humans and their world without actually interacting with them. Glamour is a gift from the universe to the Fae, so when I'm soaring above their domain, my wings spread wide, being caressed by the wind, I'm invisible to them. Even on the rare occasion I swoop down and walk amongst the humans, they have no idea I'm there. They cannot see me. As far as they're aware, I do not exist. We do not exist. I want to go today. Aeris, don't go out today. My head whips, my eyes meeting his. How did he know? Something is off. Can you not sense it? As your elder brother, I'm telling you not to sneak off to the city. I know you are technically an adult, but you must stay within the colony today. Cyrus's voice is intense. Something in my demeanor must have given me away. I meet his green eyes, not breaking contact. He stares back at me just as intently. Aeris, give me your word you'll stay within the wards today. I continue to stare, saying nothing. I cannot give you my word, Sai. Our word is everything. A Fae cannot lie. Aeris. Smiling slightly, I quickly replied, I'll be careful, Cyrus, I promise. He sighs loudly. I should know better than to even try to reason with you. Standing, he holds out his hand. As I place mine within his larger palm, he pulls me to my feet. Leaning forward, he presses his lips to my forehead before tipping back, rolling onto his heels and saying, I should go with you, make certain you're safe and smart, but it's my turn to check the barrier. Squeezing his hand, I smile once again. I'll be fine, Sai. They won't even know I'm there. Another hearty sigh escapes him as he glances down at the book in my other hand. Make certain you hide that well, and please be careful. Before I can respond, he waves his hand, raising the thick oak branch over his head as though it's a feather, and walks out from under the cover of the centuries-old tree. The branch glides back down and settles against the ground as though it never moved at all. A short while later, I skirt the edge of the colony, hugging the tree line, taking a quick glance around to make certain no one has noticed me. Seeing no one about, I slip through the glistening wards, unfurl my wings, and take off into the sky. Callum. The streets in the quarter are packed with vehicles. This is my 5th time circling several blocks when I see a car's brake lights come on. Yes, finally. Why the hell are there so many people out and about today? It's a damn Wednesday afternoon. The car backs out, and I notice another driver coming from a connecting street is eyeing the spot too. I can see on his face that he's about to gun it. Hitting the gas as the car's brake lights dim, they start to pull onto the street from the wrong way, and I cut the wheel. Hard. I jump into the open spot on the curb. The other driver lays on the horn and flips me off. See their lips moving furiously in what I'm certain is very colorful language as I put my truck in park. Too bad. I saw it first, and I've been driving around for half a damn hour already. Besides, it's a one-way street. All of the French Quarter streets are. Your dumb ass would get into the spot and not be able to get out. Probably a fucking tourist. Should have let them park and watched as the rental got towed. Nah, no time for that shit. Tipping my non-existent hat, I nod to the driver as the tires squeal past me. He yells out, "Fuck you, prick!" from their open window. Definitely a tourist. It's hot as balls out here, and it smells just as bad as balls after a heavy workout. Why the fuck would you have the windows down? A chuckle escapes me as I mutter, this Louisiana heat isn't the only thing on the rise. The hotter it gets, the shorter the fuses on the tempers get to. Swiping my hand along the back of my neck, I grimace as sweat covers my palm. The bar is 3 blocks down, and I have to hoof it into triple-digit temps while the sun is still blazing. Not that it cools off once the sun goes down, it damn well doesn't. At midnight, it's still at least 85 degrees with 110% humidity, so it still feels like it's 95. That's just life in the boot, as we natives say. Just Louisiana to everyone else. The sidewalks are as packed as the street, but again, that's not at all uncommon for these parts. New Orleans is a city that never sleeps, and the tourists sure like that aspect. Of course, here, near the French Quarter, the party atmosphere, availability of alcohol 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, except Bourbon Street from midnight to 6 a.m. on Ash Wednesday, culture, architecture, and the richest and most delicious food on the planet also helps. Ducking and weaving my way through the mixture of tourists who are stopping every 2 feet to take selfies or photos, and the locals who are scurrying on their way to escape the suffocating heat, I make my way down the sidewalk. The stoplight changes on the street and everyone stops. Traffic floods, the blacktop as horns fill the air. The red line streetcar passes along the tracks in front of us as I glance around at the crowd, noting the eclectic variety of attire. Suddenly, I feel as though someone is directly behind me, invading my personal space. Whirling quickly, intending to tell them to kindly back the fuck up, I stop dead in my tracks as I realize no one is there. Sure, people are close to me, but no one is directly behind me, practically touching my back. I feel like someone is there. What the hell? Maybe it's just the body heat of all these people combined with the sweltering temperature and oppressive humidity. Callum, no one is there. You're looking at an empty space. A strange feeling overcomes me, and I feel my brow crease as I look at the uninhabited space now directly in front of me. It literally feels like someone is standing there. I can almost feel a phantom breath on my chin. The hair on my arms rises as confusion descends like smoke. It must be the heat. I need to get into the air conditioning as quickly as possible. Heat stroke is a very real thing. Shaking my head at myself, I turn back around. A shriek echoes behind me seconds before a solid mass slams into my back, almost knocking me down. Managing to catch myself before I fall, I quickly whirl, trying to view what's happening. My eyes widen as I see the most beautiful woman I have ever witnessed in my life staring up at me. Her hands are wrapped around my arm to steady herself, and my skin feels almost electric under her palm. Her eyes are a deep golden color, almost the exact shade of warm honey. Her skin is deeply bronzed. Long, wavy, dark brown hair covers her shoulders, neck, and flows down her back. She's stunning. Fear shrouds her face. My brows immediately rise as my hands reach out to cup her shoulders. Are you all right? What happened? You bumped into me. Are you hurt? She jumps at the touch of my hand as her magnificent eyes widen and her mouth falls open, forming an O. She sputters wildly. You can see me? And tries to jerk free from my touch. What? She's asking if I can see her? Something is wrong. I don't let go as I look past her to the woman on the ground. People are crowding around her as she screams at the top of her lungs that someone shoved her and snatched her purse. Her ankle is swelling. Thinking quickly, I snap. Someone called the police. Ma'am, please don't try to get up. You may have twisted or broken your ankle. She wails as she grabs the joint in pain and yells that all her money, her credit cards, and her hotel key were in her purse. A man from the crowd helps move her onto a storefront stoop and talks into his phone to the dispatcher. Seeing he has it handled, I turn back to the gorgeous woman I'm still holding on to. She's muttering quietly. I can barely make out her words as she says in a high-pitched panic tone, "What have I done? He can see me. He's touching me. I have to go. I must get away. This cannot happen." She's in trouble. Why wouldn't I be able to see her? What's going on? Who is she running from? Is someone trying to harm her? What cannot happen? Whoever's chasing her can't catch her? Does she have a jealous husband or boyfriend? Is he abusive? Is that what she means? That I've seen her out and about? Leaning back slightly, I take in her appearance. My breath catches in my throat as I see her lush curves filling out a golden amber mini dress. What seems like miles of toned bronzed legs are on display before they stop at delicate flats that almost disappear to shimmer like spiderwebs covered with fresh morning dew protect her feet. My eyes return to her face and my chest tightens as her sheer beauty astounds me. Stop it, Callum. Focus. If she's in trouble, maybe you can help. But what kind of trouble is she in? Make sure she's safe and walk away, man. Do not get involved. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm so getting involved. I cannot walk away. Are you okay? Are you in trouble? Are you running from someone? Maybe I can help. The words leave my throat without me even realizing I'm about to say them. Shaking her head causes her hair to fan out around her, the silky strands covering my hands as I continue to lightly hold onto her shoulders. I shiver in response as she once again tries to pull away from my gentle touch and currents race up my arms. Her eyes are wide, luminous, the peculiar golden color almost flashing in the sunlight, though I can see just how frightened she is within their depths. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. Let me help you. I'm a detective. Are you so afraid? Is someone trying to harm you? My hands loosen on her shoulders. I'm barely touching her, but I'm afraid that if I release her completely, she'll race off into unknown danger. My eyes meet hers, though I'm also watching our surroundings for any hint of danger. I'm Callum. What's your name? Her eyes flit over mine for what seems like an eternity before a resigned sigh escapes her. Her shoulders are still tense beneath my palms, the strange feeling of electricity still present as she practically whispers. Aeris. My name is Aeris.